Hi, I'm Bianca Cristovao, and I would put into my immigrant jam beer, just beer, a lot of it. Pilsner, that's where I'm from, and it's the best beer in the world.
Yes! Love it, I love it. Welcome back to another episode of Immigrant Jam, the podcast. This time, we're in Hollywood, baby. That's right, the podcast is getting a butt job. What? No, what am I talking about? It's a beautiful day here in LA. We are obviously in the porn capital of the world. That's why we're here in this studio. It's a new studio. We're here with Ellis. Hey, Ellis, what's going on? And my guest today is someone that actually we have never met each other before until 7 minutes ago. I love her already. She's amazing. She's hilarious. Comedian, a woman extraordinaire. Czech. Ever heard of it? Huh? The country? The Czech Republic? Welcome to Immigrant Jam podcast, Miss Bianca Cristovao. Bianca, thank you for doing this.
Oh my God, thank you.
But you could have shown up here and encountered a total weirdo. You took a chance on
I
this.
thought you were Brazilian, so that's why I'm here. I was like, she is Brazilian. I love Brazilian people. I get here and I found out you're German. And so
Now
yeah.
you're trapped. That's
I
how
know,
we do it.
I know.
Germans.
And I never do podcasts, actually, unless
Really?
it's for very close friends. Yeah.
Oh,
So it
shit.
really, the Brazilian thing really pulled me in.
I love this. You know, I've been convinced that I'm Brazilian for a long time, too. Not in the Rachel Dolezal way. Okay, relax. I know I'm not Brazilian, but I have thought about having been switched at birth, and I always think that I was born. I always go to Brazil in my head. I'm like, I was born in Brazil and switched at birth.
Have you done the 25 me, 27 and me, 50? No, you should.
No,
Are you afraid that your parents lied to you?
No, not at all. I'm certain my parents lied to me. but it creeps me out to give my fucking DNA to I think it's a scam. I think it's a lie.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Have you done it?
Yeah, totally.
yeah?
Well, I'm giving, I'm giving myself to everyone every time I'm trying to get on some website. Please agree to. I'm like, I agree to everything.
That's
I
true.
never read it, so I'm like, at this point, I sold my soul 50 times. So what is my spit? You
So
can
what
have it.
did
You can
you
have my
get?
spit.
What was the outcome?
The outcome was, African. We knew that. That's my dad.
Yeah.
Then European, we knew that too. But very European, and so it's very European, like very Eastern European, and very African. To the point that it's almost like, both of my parents are first generations who's straight from their race. So that was interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Pure.
Pure. Yeah, I don't have, I don't have any Asian. I don't have. Yeah,
No Jewish, because most people are like, oh, and I'm 2% Jewish.
I have
Most people say
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
And African. I mean,
That.
they don't narrow it down? They just say a whole.
No, there
continent?
is like the South Africa, Congo, but very like tribal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
That's cool.
No, I'm very proud of my parents, both of them, because that, I think that's a big deal for them to finally
To have
get
come
out of their
together.
comfort zone.
To have made you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make it interesting.
To give up the pure.
Yes.
The puristic.
Puristic.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. But you grew up in Prague?
Yes.
And when did you come here? How long have you been here?
It's been 12 years.
12 years you've been here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's been a long time.
Yeah, I came here as basically a teenager, 19.
Mm-hmm.
And and I stayed. I came here to study.
To LA or just to the US?
Yeah, to LA.
What do people study in LA?
Screenwriting.
Oh, right, of
Yeah,
course.
What do you think? Like, chemist. I'm a chemist.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
So you wanted to be a screenwriter at
Yes.
first. Or maybe you're still a screenwriter.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
So you came here to be a screenwriter and you fell in love with LA? Because that's something that like you don't hear that often. You know, in New York, everybody loves New York. Immigrants love New York because, you have everything there. LA, you don't hear that often, that immigrants fall in love with LA, especially from Europe.
Yeah, I think it was the weather that got me.
Mm.
And then I also think I was in some weird depressed state of, it was just something weird because if I look back at it, okay, now I'm having fun. I wasn't having fun
Yeah.
when I was carless and, and broke and in the valley. I was living in the valley.
Carlos broken in the valley.
Like,
that
why
should
would
be a
you want
reality
to
TV show?
Carlos, why would you want to stay? Like that, I didn't have a boyfriend that, like
Why did you want to stay?
I
then?
don't know.
You don't know?
I genuinely think it was one of those things. It was just like meant to be. Like something pulled me, and I don't know what it was.
You just didn't want to give up, I guess.
Give up what?
But I guess also being from the Czech Republic and wanting to be a screenwriter, you're not going to go back
No.
and be like, fine, I'll try to make it here.
No, but I
Right?
could have been like, let's go to New York. This
That's
is
true.
not fun.
You never liked New York?
I think I went for the first time when I was 18 years old, and I was overwhelmed. It was too much, because Prague, okay, it's a capital city, but it has like 1.2 million people. So it's a very, I don't want to say country because people would get upset, but towny.
Yeah. But isn't living in Prague is like living in a museum? Kind of.
No, in like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And I always
Like
knew
in
that.
Disneyland.
Always knew that.
Oh, you did?
Even when I was like 15, 14, I would walk around, I'm like, this is beautiful. Like I knew I was born there.
And you feel at home there when you go there?
I do, yes. Yeah, it feels familiar, I'd say maybe like now LA is more home, but there's still like familiar feeling whenever I come.
Did you grow up speaking English in Prague?
No, I learned when I was 15, 16.
It seems so, when you hear people go, oh yeah, and then I moved to LA, because that's like halfway across the world, basically. You could pretty much say that's halfway across the world.
Yeah, no, it is weird.
Because I'm like stuck on this thing that it's LA, because I'm so used to talking to people in New York. You know what I mean? And then in New York, it's not that far from Europe. And it's not very
true.
American. I feel like LA is so much more American. And when you're here, you're so far from Europe. You're so far away.
Look, I was 19. I didn't think much.
Right.
I didn't think it through. And if I did, I probably wouldn't end up here.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. No, but I was raised, so this is interesting. So my mom, I guess because she also lived in Africa when she was with my dad and all that. So she always raised me to like live abroad. It was a thing. So I actually moved out when I was 17. I lived in Denmark for a little bit. And then when I was, and then at the end of it, 18-ish, I lived in Berlin. So I always felt like,
Now we're getting to it.
So I always,
Okay, so that was a family thing that you guys were travelers.
oh no, I would go by myself.
You'd go by yourself.
Yes.
You went to Denmark at
By
17
myself.
by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What was that like?
Oh, it was super fun. I went to this like international folk high school, which is something between high school and college. And you can go and kind of figure out what you want to do with your life. And we had the best time.
Did you know that you wanted? No, you didn't. You thought you wanted to be a screenwriter. The comedy came later.
I think screenwriting came later after this experience. Actually, I didn't know who I wanted to be.
After Denmark. Denmark, the Danish make good films.
They do.
Yeah, they make really good films.
And they
Isn't
made
that
us
weird?
watch them. Yeah. Yeah.
And they forced us
Yes.
to watch The Green Butchers. What isn't that a movie, The Green Butchers?
The one that I remember was Feast Party.
Yeah, Fest.
Yeah, Fest.
Oh.
Yeah. That was I still remember
pick
it.
me up that one.
Watched it once. I still remember it.
Yeah, that's a crazy movie. That's a heavy movie.
You should tell them.
Yeah,
I'm not-
hi. Hi them. You should watch that movie. That was one of the first Lars von Trier movies. That's Lars von Trier, isn't it?
I think so.
Festen. And it's like, yeah, that's a fucked up movie. That really gets under your skin, that movie.
And it's kind of real, right? Like the
Very.
extras didn't know whatever.
Well, that was their thing, right? They have this thing called dogma.
That was the dogma
filmmaking. Yeah,
movement,
exactly.
yes.
The dogma movement. Oh God!
Look at us, just-
Fond memories of those days. Dogma movement in Denmark. Yep. What do you think that does to a person or like a teenager?
Rape?
Or
Because that's what the movie is about.
Yes, thank you. I didn't know how to say that, but thank you for pinpointing it. We're here to talk about relax. Everybody's like, how could you joke about that? Relax, we've all been raped. We're all women here.
It's funny because it's true. No,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. But segue, how do you think moving... No, but seriously, how do you think like moving at a younger age, between countries and not understanding the language and all of that, what do you think that does to a person? What's your
I feel
theory?
like this is a personal attack on me.
Attack? Yeah, exactly.
You're
Why
like looking
are
at me
you
like, what do
that?
you think all that does to a person? I mean,
Is that why you wear denim on denim?
denim on denim.
Is it Denmark? Denmark.
I like these puns.
Huh? Yeah.
You
I'm a
have
big pun
control
person.
over this language, don't you?
Over English?
Mm.
I mean, sometimes, it's funny because sometimes I really don't. I used to think that nearby was pronounced nerby for like easily 20 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nerby.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of American, I feel like, blind spots I have.
I think there are a lot of blind spots Americans have about English too.
Yes, that's very, very true. Very true. Did you ever hate your accent in English, or were you...
No, I didn't hear
always-
it.
Oh, that's good.
So
You're like, what do you mean? What accent?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, you thought you didn't have an accent?
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
Totally. Yeah. I was like, and then people were like, "Oh my God, I love your accent." I'm like, who's she talking to?
I love that.
Rude.
You're like, which accent?
Yeah, exactly.
I have no accent. But you don't sound Eastern European at all.
No. I just sound
Cool.
weird. Yeah.
No, you sound cool. What do people think? Where do people think you're from? This is interesting because obviously
don't know.
you don't, in quotes, look like
Mm-hmm.
what people would expect a person from the Czech Republic to look like.
I think it's so confusing to people that they just don't know. I had a screenwriting teacher for 2 years, and he thought I was from Caribbean. He thought I was like Rihanna or something. I was like, did you? Really?
He's like, I love umbrellas too. Okay?
yeah.
Just so you know.
And back then, my accent was way stronger too. I was like, what?
People see what they want to
Yes,
see, isn't
and
it?
they hear what they want to hear.
Does that annoy you, or you don't care?
Oh, I
that?
don't know.
Never
it doesn't.
cared
About what?
about people like
Assuming.
things, or putting you in a box, or not. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
getting
no, not at all. Because like at the end of the day, you gotta be. I live in the same world as those people, so I get it. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, now when I go back home, and it's way more multicultural than it was when I was growing up, and I see like Black people, and they speak Czech, I go, "Ooh, nice." I do have the same reaction. I'm like, "Good for you. That's great." Like,
You're like, where did you learn
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
We grew up here, like
Yeah.
you. I'm
yeah,
your brother.
exactly. Yeah, basically, my family.
You're like, you have a Czech passport? Wow, how'd you do that? So was that hard growing up? Did you have to deal with a lot of shit there?
Yes, that was hard growing up. Yeah.
Because you were like one of very few
Yes, 1 of 5.
in your school? Or
No,
that you
I
knew?
wish in the country. In this school, no. In this school, it would be always just 2 Black people. It would be me and my brother, and that was it. Look, it was hard, but it wasn't like crazy. I'm sure people have harder lives around the world.
Mm.
I'm not a victim.
It's so funny because I think nobody knows anything about the Czech Republic
Yeah.
except that it's Kafka,
Yes.
and
beer, Pilsner.
and beer, right? Which you said you would put in your immigrant tent. So you're a big lover of you're a big, big
am a-
alcoholic?
Yes, I am Czech. I love alcohol. I appreciate the beer. I know it's good, but it's one of those things I'm just like, I don't drink beer enough to really appreciate. But I love, like, for people who love beer, I'll always tell them, have that. Not for me, because I I don't appreciate beer enough. But if I did, what can I like compare it to? Like, look, for instance, if you love cocaine, I don't do cocaine. But if I,
But
if I
you love
did,
it,
then I would recommend probably some pure Coke from Colombia or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same
That
thing
makes
with
sense.
beer.
Yeah. If,
If
not that anybody has any experience doing that. Do you miss stuff being here from home, or do you miss?
I do miss Europe sometimes, but in general, like Europe,
Yes,
the
I get
European
it.
vibe.
Yes. Yes.
That kind of like chill mentality. I remember growing up, we would go have coffee with my friends. By coffee, I mean wine. And why did I say coffee? And we would go around like 2 p.m. and then we would stay in the same restaurant until like 8, 9 p.m. Ordering just few glasses of wine and just, and nobody cared.
Right.
They just let us chill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember when we moved here, my parents were like, America's great. People leave dinners after like an hour and a half.
But no, you know what I just realized? Because the customer service, particularly in the Czech Republic, is so bad. Like people are so rude.
In Germany too.
That maybe they did mind. We just didn't see it. they
were yelling at you
the whole
like,
time,
leave!
Because it starts like when it starts like that, when they're like, "Hey, what do you want?" And then you leave.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe they hated us.
They were trying to get you out, but you just thought it was normal.
Yeah,
customer service. They were like pushing you and kicking you out the door, and you're like, "This is how they do it in the Czech Republic. That they want us to stay." Isn't that wild though? I've become so American in that sense that when I go to Germany now and the customer service is bad, it fucking drives me nuts. I want to be like, I'm American, and then I'm like, wait, I'm not really American, but I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, that's the problem. Same.
And like things not being open 24 hours.
That I can live with.
You can.
That's your problem.
I think that's also a New York problem. But when I moved back there for a while after high school, I would get dressed in the evening at 11, and my roommates would be like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "What? I'm going downstairs to get a thing from the deli or from the store." And I mean, I knew there wasn't delis, and they were like, "There's no stores open at all. You have to pilgrimage to a gas station." Like a walking stick. It's crazy. I miss that European, you come together and you just spend time together, and it's not about, what are you trying to get out of it, or you only have an hour, or you get kicked out and you have a reservation and it ends at this time. It's so, I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is here, why it's like that here. Why they don't have this culture of, or maybe just culture.
Period. No, I think there's a lot of culture in America. It's just completely different.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
Shots fired, Americans. Shots motherfucking fired.
But you are right. I think life in New York would be easier because it's more familiar with the public transport, with the whole culture of restaurants and it's very different.
Walking. The fact that you can walk places.
Yes.
The fact
overrated, by the way.
Is it?
I know.
I love walking. I really miss that here. Why is it so, even when you walk here, you feel so weird? Isn't that so funny?
You feel poor.
You feel so poor and weird. I was waiting for the bus once and a car stopped.
Oh, bus here?
Yes. And
in
somebody yelled out their window, "What are you doing? You're too pretty to take the bus." I was like,
he was right.
You asshole. That's a fucked up thing to say, but thanks. You single? Hi.
Yeah, in LA, only really sad people take public transportation.
I know. But isn't it so funny how you're doing the same thing. It just feels different. Walking here, you feel poor. You want to be like, I'm doing this. This is my choice. I did this by choice. I like to walk. Just walking. But also New York, what's different is that you probably don't meet a lot of Czech people here.
Oh, that's so true.
Have you
and
met
in
a
New
Czech
York, I
person
would
here?
probably
All the time. Not all the time. But
I have one of my closest
frequently.
friends who lives here, so that's nice.
Oh, really?
Who I see, yeah. But other than that, you're right. It doesn't happen. And sometimes it happens at shows when I do stand up, and then people come up to me after and they're like, "I'm
audience."
Czech," and I love that, but also very rare. Or what was even more exciting to me was when they were their parents were immigrants,
Right.
and that was very exciting.
First generation.
Because she never, she would never practice with people,
Yeah.
and the Czech would be a little,
What's very Czech?
There's this Czech sense of humor, which is dark
Yeah.
and very. I think we are very good at making fun of ourselves. Yeah.
Self-deprecating, like that. You mean?
I don't think it's self-deprecating like American, but it's very like there's, for instance, like I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, like I met an old friend and she called her mother to let her know like that, you know, I'm there, and her mom also used to take care of me or whatever. So her mom like on FaceTime, and her mom got very emotional. She started crying, and then my friend's reaction was, "Mom, stop crying. Stop making a scene," you know. And it was so funny to me because in that moment, like Americans would never, you know, say that.
Yeah,
like,
of course, because
you'd
they're
be
so
like,
concerned with
yeah,
feelings.
oh my
and
God,
stuff.
stop being fucking emotional, you know.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh so hard. Like,
Yeah.
It's so funny to me. So like stuff
I
like
get
that.
it. I get it. Yeah, like kind of a little bit blunt, but in a
Yes.
loving way. I have to say, like a pep talk with a Serbian accent totally hits differently, you know. But she's not like, "Oh my God, are you okay? I'm here for you." You know, she's like, "Lucie, I want you not to be crying in your stupid bed. You're going to get up and be a strong person like I know." It sounds harsh, but it's kind of loving at the same time. So I get what you mean.
And then it happened to me here that like, you know, I do something like this, and then people are like, "She's a bitch."
Yeah, you're rude.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah. You don't care?
So I miss that. I miss that being understood sometimes.
Yeah.
But I also changed a lot now. So now I'm like too emotional for Czech people. They're like, shut up. I'm like, but you're not supposed to say that. They're like, shut up. Yeah. And I hear that you've been in America for too long.
Yeah. So now when you go back, they say that you're American.
Yeah.
Do you do comedy in Czech?
Oh, I've tried. Certainly I did. The issue is that I don't use the language as much. So I was trying to like translate certain things, which you can to an extent
Right.
if you have like very forgiving audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you don't,
If your audience is deaf and dead.
So I don't do that anymore. I think it's disrespectful to the language.
To Czech?
Yes.
To try to do comedy in
In
it?
Czech, yeah. I think it's disrespectful to the Czech people.
What kind of a language is Czech? Because like German is like very heady and very complicated. And you know how we have a lot of compound words and we put them together. You can basically make up words in
Yes,
German.
that's a very German thing to do.
And then the verb comes at the end of the sentence. So that's why a lot of comedians, you know, talk about how, you know, Eddie Izzard did like his whole hour. He like went and did his hour in French and then in German.
Yes.
And they asked him about that. How does that work? And he said, well, I think that, you know, you just get the laugh in the middle of the sentence instead of at the end, because the verb comes at the end. The verb's not going to be the punchline, you know. But what kind of a language is Czech? Is it poetic? Is it a beautiful language, would you say?
I think it's beautiful. I make fun of it. Like now I start making fun of it a little bit on stage.
Yeah.
But I exaggerate it on purpose. I think it can be very beautiful. A lot of times people think that it's Portuguese, especially Brazilians do, because
like me.
like you.
Yeah. That's why I actually also thought you were Brazilian. So.
But yeah, so it's kind of, you know, it's Slavic language,
Slavic,
Slavic language. And so it has a little bit of that, but then it has its own kind of flavor, I think.
Do you think you're a different person in Czech than in
Yeah,
English?
I am a white woman with green eyes.
With a pizza in your hand. I think I'm a little bit different in German. Like my
Really?
voice goes down in
Oh
German.
yeah, my voice probably changes.
Yeah? Can you say something in Czech?
Jo, co by si chtěla, abych ti řekla? Ale teďkon nad tím moc přemýšlím, nad tím, co bych měla říct, takže to je těžký.
Wow. That sounded Danish. It's cool. It sounds...
Do you have friends you speak German with?
No friends. Oh, yeah, I do. I do. Because I went to an international school in New York. So there was like a little German crew.
Oh, nice.
And I speak German with my parents.
Right.
And because I studied there, I went to acting school in Berlin.
Oh. Were they making fun of your German when you moved there?
No, my German was always... I always kept my German.
Okay, that's interesting because I have cousins who are Czech and they live in England.
Yeah.
And their accent is not... I mean, they speak extremely well, you know. But a Czech person could tell that something is a little bit off,
Right.
and no one else could. But like Czech person, but I'm sure if they lived in the Czech Republic for like 3 weeks, it would be
Right, it
gone.
would
But
come back.
there's just something.
They didn't make fun of my German, but they did make fun of, like, they I was like the American girl. And every time an American word would come up, like hamburger, if it'd be like, oh, lass man Hamburger essen gehen, I wouldn't say lass man Hamburger essen gehen.
You would say hamburger.
I would say lass man Hamburger essen gehen. And they'd be like, hamburger, very jealous too.
Do you do this the other way around too? Like if you have like a word that is pronounced and then Americans butcher it, or like a name, would you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel weird. Like I don't say Gesundheit. I say Gesundheit, but I don't say Gesundheit in English.
No.
I say bless you. That's so weird. Why would I say it in German?
Who says that? Maybe in New York.
People in the Midwest.
Oh, they do.
I don't know. What do you think, Ellis? People say Gesundheit, don't they?
Yeah, I feel like they're pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
Oh.
People go Gesundheit, and then they feel like they've really did their cultural thing there for the month.
Prost.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I'm always fascinated by language because I think it like expresses a lot about the mentality of the people who speak it. Like I think it influences the mentality.
I think it's so funny because a lot of times, when you meet a person who speaks another language, you immediately, especially if you don't speak another language, you assume they're smart, but that's not always the case.
No, that's
No.
true.
But with that said, I think it is it opens something in your brain, the idea that you can decode these noises that we call languages, and words. I think like you are missing out if you don't speak another language.
I agree totally. It does something to your brain, and also I think it does. That's why I said earlier, like, what do you think it does to you to move to another place and stuff? Because I think that experience, that's like similarly that experience, like it opens you up, to just I don't know, the world, to the fact that people have different experiences and that not everything that, or maybe that there's different perspectives. I think that's interesting about comedy. Because in comedy, a lot of times you have to have this like 2-track brain, right? You're in something, but you kind of zoom out of it to be able to write a joke about it or see what's funny or, relay that. And I feel like a lot of people who grew up cross-culturally and spoke different languages and had the experience of moving somewhere else have that brain where you can like zoom out of something. I think if you've never had a different experience, it's hard
that's
to zoom
interesting.
out.
That's
You know what I mean?
interesting. Yeah, you may be onto something.
Well, that's why I'm getting a degree in sociology. No, but it's interesting anyway because for Americans, English is spoken everywhere, so they don't need to. Every single other nationality outside of English
Hardcore.
speakers
They will
has to learn another language.
Yes.
They have to learn English. If you don't know English as a non-English speaker, you're pretty much fucked in the world.
Yeah, that's
In
on
quotes.
colonialism.
That's on colonialism.
That's on the British.
That's
they
on the
inserted
British.
that in
Yeah.
us. And then what's so funny when European Union was trying to like force like French is gonna be the language. Please give me a break.
Yeah.
It's over. You lost.
Yeah.
England
Give
won.
me a break. Give me a croissant. Shut the
Give
fuck up.
me a-
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No,
definitely
it's so
over.
funny too because I think it's funny what you said about like everyone speaking English because like I'm learning Spanish now, right? I'm getting pretty good, but now I think, but like last year it was still not that great, and then I would be in Spain. Was it Spain? I think it was Spain or somewhere. And
Spain, Japan, it's
Spain,
all the
Mexico, one of those. And I think I was really trying to speak Spanish and they would like English. But
Right.
I would get a little bit annoyed because like, how do you know I speak English? I don't like, I'm not American. Suddenly I'm not American.
Yeah.
Like when I'm American, I'm American. When I'm outside, I'm not American.
Yes.
So I would get annoyed.
Well, I think a lot of times it's
Don't
because
assume that I speak English. That would be the annoying part. Not
Yeah,
that
right.
you're, not
That's
that you're
a
telling-
shirt.
Yes.
you should have it on a shirt. Don't assume that I speak English.
I love, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting a new brand. That's good.
But I think a lot of times it's also because they want to practice their English.
Well, it's not about you, Jorge. It's about me here. I traveled here. If you want to learn English, go to me.
I traveled to Mexico. We're in Spain. It doesn't matter, okay? Fucking asshole. How do you say asshole in Spanish?
Pendejo.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one of my favorite things is when you see American tourists abroad.
Oh, that's
and
my
they-
least favorite thing.
No,
I
but it's
I'm
so
always
funny.
like-
It's so funny, especially when they have meltdowns that nobody speaks English. Why doesn't anybody speak English here? Because it's a different country.
I think it's very brave for them to go to a different country only speaking English.
Americans.
Yeah.
It is brave. I mean,
I cannot imagine going to America only speaking Czech and be like,
I'm here.
excuse me. They don't understand me here. Weird.
Yeah.
Even if I speak very, very loudly. That is, yeah.
But Germans like to tell this story that apparently 200 years ago there was a group of fat white men who sat around deciding what the world language would be, and Germany missed it by 1 vote. I grew up hearing that story.
Really?
Yeah. And that
You
if
could have
they-
been speaking German now.
Ja, wir reden jetzt alle Deutsch.
Wir können Deutsch sprechen.
Yeah, because well, you speak German. The listeners don't necessarily know that, which is crazy because you went to a German school.
In
What's up
the
with
Czech
that?
Republic.
Why would
My
that? Why?
my mom was like, you know what? Life is not hard enough for you. I just want you to feel even more like an outsider.
What did that mean, a German school? So that just meant that you had German classes, or was everything in German?
So it starts off. They start you off easy. You know, I started at school in the 3rd grade. I was
One
like,
Wurst a day.
I started at school when I was 9 years old, I think, or 8. And so it starts with like classes. They go easy. And then they're like, okay, and now math is going to be in German. And then, and now biology is going to be in German. And they keep like.
And before you know it, you're marching down the street. Saluting
Yes,
people. Oh my
yes.
God. That's interesting because you would think that in the Czech Republic they wouldn't want anything to do with German. The
Oh no,
Germans
we
weren't
invited them.
necessarily
We
nice.
we kind of let them in easy, to be honest. We didn't fight them much.
You think that Czechs are cowards? Is that what you're saying?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't think that. But I would say that Polish people fought harder. And I would say if that war that's happening in Ukraine happened in the Czech Republic, that would be done just like he expected it. I will
They'd be
say
like,
that.
yeah, we're okay.
Be like, yeah,
we want to
we're
be at
fine.
the restaurant for 7 hours.
Yes,
being yelled at.
exactly. No. With that, I just want to say that I don't know how brave or not brave Czech people are, but if I look into the history of things, I see other countries fighting harder for certain things. With that said, we fought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the right to have cobblestones everywhere.
We do have couple. They are beautiful.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
I do have to say, like, obviously, I don't think it's fair that people go like, oh, German Nazis. That's so fucked up because unlike Americans, Germans actually,
Yeah.
they really try to make things right after, or.
I mean, that's a big discussion, but that's kind of the perception, and it's much better than here, for sure.
Comparison. Not that you should
comparatively,
be
yes.
comparing those two, but I'm just
No,
saying.
but I think you're right. Like, it is a good example, and there's, monuments everywhere, and there were some reparations. But I can tell you, as someone whose grandfather was stripped of his German citizenship and had to flee Germany and was then also imprisoned by the fascists in Romania and was a German Jew, and whose whole entire family was killed except 2 sisters in the Holocaust. They didn't give that much.
Yep. How much did they give?
I think he got like $100 a month or something,
Jesus.
or like
Yeah, that's not a lot.
75 or something. It was really
That's not a
little,
lot.
and also like.
So was it like, because I know they were giving a lot of money to Israel.
Yeah, I think it's different. If they had gone to Israel, it would have been
It's different. Yeah, because that's what
but Israel's America.
I know.
Israel has nothing really to do with Germany in that sense. Israel's all America. So yeah.
So they were
that was
giving a lot of
different.
money, but the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Got it.
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, I mean, okay. And of course, it's politics and all of that. And, they all suck.
So you
But-
think we should still keep calling Germans Nazis? Is that what you're getting into? You're like, don't stop now.
I think that it's weird. Like, I have friends in Germany that aren't Jewish, and they're like, that has nothing to do with me, and that was like 80 years ago.
Okay,
and
yeah, so it's the same. They don't want to have that guilt on them anymore.
Exactly. They don't want to have.
But they are forced to have it though.
But you're right.
Schools and
I
stuff.
think, for example, you know the Stolpersteine. You know what that is?
No.
It's these little plaques on the sidewalks in front of the buildings where Jews lived that were picked up and killed. And it was started by a Dutch guy, if I'm not wrong, in Holland. And so there are these like brass plaques and they'll be in front of the building and they'll say the names of the people and when they died, if they know. And so I think that's a very, very impactful way to keep it in the collective consciousness, because you're walking around and every few feet, especially in certain neighborhoods and stuff where there was a lot of Jews, you stop and you can read their names and you can be like, oh my God, this was like a family of like 6. And then 5 feet further, it's like, wow, this was like 3 children under 5 and grandparents. And
Yeah, so you see that. That's very powerful. I think they are absolutely like forced to go to concentration camps when they are like teenagers. No, all the German teenagers. They
what
are.
do you mean? Forced to go. Okay,
not a forced to live.
No, I thought you meant like metaphorically.
No. I actually mean it. They are forced to go, and they hate it. They're a little bit traumatized, but and they're like, oh, why do we do this to kids? Because it's important to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a situation like in America where people forget.
Yeah,
and,
No, I think you're totally right. In that sense, I think you're so right. It's like insane that here, not only is it not done, it's like now being made illegal to talk about in certain places.
Yeah.
Like in Florida, the critical race theory, they're not allowed to teach it. They're not allowed to talk about it. Since they're like trying to literally erase it, and the Confederate flags and all that. The fact that that's like all even a discussion, that not everybody's like, we decided we fucked up, that it was horrible. So shouldn't that be written on every building all the time, everywhere you go? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I think that I don't know if Germany would have done it if there wouldn't have been the pressure.
Yes. Oh, probably not. It's probably not.
Probably not. So I guess the rest of the world, it's your fault. You're not saying anything to America, you fucks. Except China now is sending some balloons.
Oh yeah, the balloons.
But I don't think they're for slavery.
I don't think it's about slavery. Could be wrong. Maybe.
Can we have some slavery balloons, China?
Can you send some more of us?
Send some, like, China should send those, what are they called? Zeppelin? See, this is a blind spot now that I have. Zeppelin?
That's a band.
No. What's the thing? Zeppelin. The blimp. Blimp? Those things that are in the sky and then they have like a flag with them?
Yeah, blimp or Zeppelin.
Oh, you can say Zeppelin.
Cool.
I request from China a Zeppelin that just says, we want reparations.
Yes. That would be cool. Nobody would take
cool.
that down. They would stay. We would guard it. We were like, you better don't.
Yes,
that
they couldn't shoot that
down.
That would be a good decoy for a spy balloon.
Yeah,
this is a good idea. We're coming up with good ideas here.
Yeah, brainstorming.
Bianca, I always ask.
Yeah,
my name is Christiane Amanpour.
That's I was about to say. What happened to your voice here? There was like a switch in your brain, like we're on.
Yeah, exactly. I always ask my guests if they grew up with any funny, cool sayings.
Oh my gosh.
Did you?
So many.
Really?
But we were just with my friend, the Czech friend I told you about. He just said one thing and I'm like, what did you just say? I haven't heard that. He says, zhračky budou plačky or something like that.
Zhračky pro plačky?
That's
awesome.
It means something like, if you're laughing too much, which we are right now, we're going to cry soon. So basically, you're not supposed to have joy. Don't have joy.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
In German, there's a saying, wer beim Essen singt, kriegt ein Mann, der stinkt und trinkt.
Well, there you go.
How fucked up is that?
There you go.
The person who sings at dinner will marry, well, I guess this is only for women.
Real.
Yeah.
It's real, though.
It's real, yeah. Will marry a man who stinks and drinks. I always thought that was so fucked up. How fucked up is that? Wait, so the more you laugh, Don't
Yeah.
laugh too hard because you're going to end up crying.
Yeah, and I think in Russian you also have the same saying.
How do you say it again? Špranci, prunci.
Zhračky budou plačky. Which those, by the way,
Zhračky
those words
plačky.
we don't even use in normal like speaking language. That's why the words sound so weird.
Oh, what are they?
Because some
Ancient?
old yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're like, and then the prophet came and said, Zračky, proplačky.
You know what's so really funny if any Czech people watch it, because you keep saying a different word. You keep saying sračky, which means shits.
See, naturally. I just
Yeah,
gravitate.
naturally. You go from shit will be crying. That's a different
Wait,
thing.
I say Zračky, but it's,
Yeah,
no, say it. Zhračky.
yeah,
And I say
Zhra-
Zračky.
yeah. Which
But
means-
it's
you, you go from shit instead of from,
Wait, shit and crying is almost the same word? No, shit and laughing is almost the same word.
yeah. Zaharačky means like from a game almost.
From fooling.
Yeah,
Foolery.
yeah.
Foolering?
Yeah, but again, it's an ancient word. Well, it's not, it's coming.
Zhračky.
Yeah,
And
and you
not
keep saying
Sračky.
no, not Sračky.
Well, now we
Okay.
learned 2 words here. We learned shit.
Your
Zračky
accent
shit.
is really good in Czech, by the way,
Thanks.
because
Yep.
you're like an expert on languages and stuff.
Well, that is a thing, isn't it? A talent for languages. I feel like I do have a little bit of a talent for
Good.
languages. That's the only thing I have a talent for, if you know what I mean. Wait, I found some too. This one, I like this one.
Read it. Read it in Czech.
Stokrat
Yep, go.
nič omorilo osla.
Osla. I thought it was vola. Okay, that's
100
good.
times nothing killed the donkey.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it's a really good one.
Is it?
Yeah, it means that you know how you have like some friends or people who want like little favors from you all the time, and you're like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just a little favor. It's a little favor. Oh, I'll do a little favor, but suddenly it's 100 times and you're fucking dead because you did so much over
Of course,
time.
the donkey does all the work, bears all the weight. Wow. This is weird because this is my biggest problem in life.
What?
Yeah, I'm the donkey.
Oh shit. Well,
Yeah. I'm the, what is it called? Osla?
yeah, the donkey.
Osla.
Osel. Osel.
Osel. And you thought it was going to be, you were like, I thought you were going to say vola or something like that.
Yeah, that's another animal.
Ah,
It's
the mule.
No, I think it's the. I was about to say the husband of the cow, and that's on my English.
husband
And that's on me, like learning Spanish. Like I'm just getting it all.
The
like, what-
husband. Yeah, in Spanish, everybody has to be married because they're all Catholic. So even the cows have husbands. The husband of
What?
the cow. How cute. Wait, well, what is the animal?
Well, the male cow,
The bull.
the bull.
The husband of the cow. Oh, the cow's gay. Wait, this is not a Catholic at all anymore. This became very un-Catholic.
I have no idea. I had
Wow.
3 cups of coffee, and
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, I think that now all we have to do is play the poll questionnaire.
What?
Yeah.
It's been so fun. I don't want to go.
Okay, we'll stay. Alice, can we stay for 3 more hours? Bianca,
Yes.
if you were president of the United States of America,
A woman president? Are you crazy?
what American food would you ban?
Oh, I would ban red meat
Oh, nice. I don't eat
for
meat
the
either.
environment and for everyone.
I don't eat meat either. Do you like Impossible Burgers?
You hate them?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's not something I
Because
eat
they
all the
taste
time.
like meat. Yeah.
But so that would I would like if in real like if I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
I would definitely ban red meat. But when it comes to some like American food that I cannot stand,
Yeah.
first when I moved to America, I didn't understand the peanut butter and jelly business. I just didn't get it. I was
Interesting.
like, ugh, ew, peanut butter.
We don't eat peanut butter in Europe like that.
No, not at all.
No, it's not a thing. Isn't that weird?
No, we have Nutella.
I almost bought a Nutella cookbook the other day. I was like, okay. I almost took
Whoa.
Nutella with me here. I was like, what am I doing?
Being a good person, bringing Nutella here to me. Imagine if you had Nutella.
Oh, no,
here.
not here, but I should have. You're right.
Yeah, that
I
would be
should have brought
nice.
you Nutella.
That would be nice. It'd be nice.
Bianca, if you were casting a movie
Yes.
about the Statue of Liberty, who would you cast as the Statue of Liberty?
Oh, probably Oprah.
Oprah. I like
Yeah.
Oprah. No one said Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People would like it, you know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be too annoyed. Like, why would you call Zoe Saldana? She doesn't look like a It's not even like she's
Okay, if you could add one face to Mount Rushmore, whose face would you add?
I had to think for 3 seconds what mountain
I
you're
know.
talking
I
about.
saw it. I saw it in your
And
face.
I was like, okay. I remembered some movie or something. Mind face.
Nice. I love it. That'd
I
be
would put
good.
my
That'd be
face on.
great. People be like, and these are the presidents and one Czech comedian.
Some
who
immigrant
loves
face.
LA.
I would represent the faces of immigration.
Yes, yes. That's true. The faces of
What
immigration.
started as narcissism turned out to be way bigger.
We should tear the whole mountain down and just put immigrant faces on it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's actually a really good one.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, let's get rid of that mountain.
Look at these ideas.
Fuck that
We
mountain.
should run this country. We should run this country.
Okay. If you could deport one American person, who would you deport?
Deport?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a few.
Okay. You can say a few.
But I wouldn't want to put it in another country. That's not fair. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's a good point.
That's kind of fucked up.
But maybe to outer space?
Okay. Well, I'll put all the billionaires on those ships and leave them up
Nice.
there. Yeah.
Yes. See, now that's
They have
where
the technology. You can
that's where
go.
the European comes out.
You can go.
Yeah, that's true.
Go.
Yeah. Okay, so Elon Musk, not on Bianca's watch,
Yeah.
okay? You're not ever getting up on stage with her. You can fucking stick to your Dave Chappelle, buddy. Yeah.
Are they friends with Dave
Yeah,
Chappelle?
he brought him up on stage. I was so sad when that happened.
Where?
I think here in LA or somewhere out in the West. I think somewhere out West here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was like a few months ago. He brought him up on stage and Elon Musk got booed. And then Dave Chappelle told them to stop booing him.
And did they stop?
No.
There's the difference between cult and comedy.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Fuck that guy.
That's so
That
funny.
guy
I wonder who
sucks.
started that booing. I would if I was in the audience.
Definitely. I would have booed his ass too, of course. I would boo him to his
Like,
face.
get this immigrant out of this country.
If you had to make up a catchphrase for the United States of America, what would it be?
It would be a land of free.
What's the most Czech thing you've ever done?
Married an American. No, I'm joking.
What's the most American thing you've ever done?
Complain. Oh yeah, return food at a restaurant because it wasn't cooked well. That was
Send
very,
food
that's a
back?
yeah, send food back.
That is
Very
a very
American.
American
Very
thing.
American.
That's true. Here, it's part of the culture.
And then once I cried at the at the Czech embassy. I started crying. That was very American.
Oh.
And I threw them off because I needed my passport, and they were like, "We cannot give it to you." Blah blah blah. I was like, "I need my passport." And I started crying, and then it threw because everyone at the embassy is Czech, so they were looking at me like. This woman literally said this. She said this to me. She goes, "Do you do this often?" And I said, "No, of course not." But it worked. It she gave me the passport. So.
They're like, oh, we
I was
lost
like,
another one.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, stop being emotional, you
Yeah,
idiot. Like
yeah.
your
She was
friend
like,
to
"Do
her
you
mom.
do this a lot?" She had to pull me aside. She's like, "You cannot be like this around other people. Come in."
She said that to you? She pulled you aside and said that? No.
No, but she
She
definitely
said, "Do you do
said,
this a
"Do you
lot?"
do this a lot?" I'm like,
What a weird question to ask somebody who's crying.
yeah,
Like, what, experience emotions?
yeah.
Do you do this weird emotion thing a lot? I mean, I
You
don't
need to
know.
dial it back.
Yeah, exactly. Are you
Like-
a human being a lot?
Yeah, we're gonna kick you out of the embassy. This is not very Czech.
They were like, here's just take the American passport. Just take it. Okay. You're American now. Everybody knows it.
I think-
Nobody wants you anymore.
I think the
You're
most Czech thing I do is like when I see people, I do the same thing to people. Like when I see people being overly emotional, I start laughing or I start, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Okay, then this is the last question. Bianca, as you know, I'm German. So
yeah.
it's very important to me that I make one thing happen in my life.
I'm not gonna kiss you.
No. Damn it. Do you know how I can meet David Hasselhoff?
Well, he'll probably be in Germany. That's where he makes most money. No, he should probably go back. He has tours and stuff.
That's the best answer ever. Every single person has said, go to Malibu. And here I am. Okay.
No.
500th time in my life.
Zurück
Nach Deutschland. Scheiße. Right.
Yeah.
But
he's getting old.
True.
You hurry up. Hurry up. I'm just saying.
Did you ever listen to David Hasselhoff music?
I can't stop the feeling.
Oh my God, you're the first person that knows a David Hasselhoff song. Most people in America don't know he used to sing.
Ooga,
Can't stand this
Yeah, most people
feeling.
in America don't know. That's why he still has career here, because if they knew.
I went to a
shit
David
was over.
Hasselhoff concert when I was 6 in Hamburg.
I
Yeah.
love that. How was it with your dad? Your
My-
mom? Who sacrificed their life?
This is the best question because I begged them to get me tickets. My mom's a musician, so she didn't even let me hang up a poster of him in my room because they used to sleep in my room. I guess I'm calling it my room. It was their room, and I would play in there. In
Where
my
was your
parents'
room?
room. I didn't have a room.
Oh, right.
We were just poor German people. But I wanted to hang up a poster. She was like, I'm not sleeping
Wait,
under
until
that.
what age you didn't have your own room?
I never really had my own room because when we moved to New York, we lived in a loft, and
Oh,
my sister and I
wow.
had like a curtain in between
Oh,
our.
shit.
Yeah, I'm very damaged. So thank
Yeah.
you for doing this today.
Do you have your own room now?
Well, they say it's my room. When they come in and open the straitjacket, they say I can play in my room. Well, I'm about to have a huge apartment to
Don't worry.
myself.
Well, that is a silver lining. And that was the most Czech thing I've ever done.
You're like, stop being fucking upset. You have a whole apartment to yourself. But then I wanted these tickets to the concert, and my mom was like, well, I'm not going to go with her. And my dad was like, I'll go. And then he forgot about it. And then, well, because it was like 2 months later, you know. And then on the day, my mom was like, you have to go to the David Hasselhoff concert with Lucy. And he was like, no, I can't go. And she's like, no, you got to go. So we went. I sat on his shoulders the
Aw.
entire time. And he has never been the same.
What? In what way?
Disturbed. Wakes up screaming at night, crying. Completely, yeah. No, I think it was traumatic for him. I think
It
it was
was?
pretty bad. I mean, can you imagine a David Hasselhoff concert with like all these little kids? I think it's pretty awful. I guess if your kid is happy,
But also,
it's nice.
question is, you were like 6, right?
Mm,
And how old was David?
I don't know.
Like
How-
40 at that
I'm
time?
hoping at least. No, I think more.
So why would a 6-year-old be upset? That's the question that, because
Yeah.
did
It's
you
a
think
good
about
question. Not then, but that's why my mom said I'm not sleeping under that pervert's face.
that? Pervert.
And even never
Is he a
like
pervert?
no, but I think
Why
she
would she
just
say
I
that?
think because little kids liked him.
But why did little kids like him?
I have no idea. I think because maybe it's something so simple, just as it comes down to the chords used in his music.
Maybe.
Dun, 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 dun,
So you
dun,
didn't know
dun.
him from Baywatch? Because that's how I
No,
knew him.
no, we knew him from Baywatch. Yeah, but we loved the whole thing. You know, remember Bravo, the magazine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I do. You had that too?
we had that. Of course, that was German.
Oh, I didn't know.
That came from Germany.
Okay,
Bravo.
well, I'm sorry.
Bravo was a
Okay.
teeny and adolescent magazine. They had like naked people in it. They always had
Yeah.
one page with a naked boy and a naked girl. Then they always had stories about my first time and about all the like teeny crushes and stuff like that. I'm just explaining to people who don't know.
Right.
But he was always in Bravo and then Baywatch.
I said,
and his-
bravo.
Bravo. And his music. But I don't know why we were obsessed with him. We just
I don't
thought
know
he
why
was-
we were obsessed with Baywatch. Now, that's something I will never understand. Like, why?
Really? No, I understand that.
When you were like 7?
You know, I think that's because it's like the most quintessentially American thing, especially for people outside of the U.S. These perfect people on this like beach. What?
Okay, maybe
you don't
you're
have
right.
those beaches.
We don't have beaches.
like that with
No,
that
we
type
have
of
no beaches.
sun and those like smiley perfect people that have
That's
perfect
crazy.
hair.
So it
and
just
teeth.
worked for kids.
I think that it was fascinating to
Yeah.
us, and the stories were so dumb. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so we could understand them.
So we could understand them. They weren't like too, weird. They weren't too devastating. They weren't too sad. They were just like, it was always the same formula,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about saving people. And I don't know. Well, it ruined Pamela Anderson's life. No, actually, it didn't.
It
But yeah, I
definitely
guess
helped her
that's why.
Yeah, I loved Pamela Anderson too.
Yeah.
So all of that.
Yeah, I loved Baywatch. Loved it. We met up every Wednesday or Tuesday or whenever it was on to watch it. Like this little group.
We probably got it like 10 years later, but I like everything. But
They're like, have you heard of this new show, Friends?
Like, literally.
2 months ago.
literally, that was my life. I would watch like movies with Eddie Murphy, movies from the 80s, and I'd be like, America is so cool. Like, I would watch it in early 2000. Like, America is so cool. They have old cars, but they're very cool.
Wait, do they dub
Yeah.
movies?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny, right? Isn't that funny
So
growing
funny.
up with like those other voices?
I didn't know that Arnold had accent because of the dubbing until I moved to America, and everyone was making fun of his accent. I was like, "What accent?" I was like, "God damn, God damn."
That's so funny. Ja, auf Deutsch sprechen alle Synchronsprecher so. Like all the actors, like that. They all go, hallo Joey, was machst du denn hier?
Oh my God,
Oh
it's
Gott,
perfect.
Monica, lass uns Spaß haben.
You
That's how
nailed
they
it.
talk.
Ooh, you nailed it.
Yeah.
It hit me.
Is it so weird
Yeah.
that they all talk like that?
Yeah.
They all have this voice. That's the dubbing voice in Germany. Oh my God, it's so great here.
Wow, that's scary that you can do that.
I don't know what that means either.
That means you can get a job in Germany.
Yes, I can be the new Monica and Chandler. Oh. They're all screaming into their pillows. You know
It's a
what?
weird thing, the dubbing thing, by the way.
Yeah.
We do it in the Czech Republic too, but Sweden or Denmark, they don't do it, and that's why their English is so damn good.
Better.
Better.
Absolutely. It's also a weird thing, like artistically
speaking.
So fucked up.
You know, also another thing that's weird, translating poems.
Oh, yeah.
That's also very weird to me.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Impossible. I agree. As someone who's dabbled in poetry herself.
Oh, you would.
No, totally impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah. Translating is a bitch.
it is.
I've done a lot of translating.
It's hard enough to. Have you ever watched stand-up, especially in another language? That's hard
Oh my
enough.
God, I've never done that.
I've done that.
Dubbed? How does that work?
Not dubbed, just like with
Subtitles?
subtitles. But if you don't speak the language, I watched like a French stand-up,
Oh,
but with English subtitles. It was funny, but I'm sure I lost like half of it somewhere.
of course. Of course. Yeah. No, that's why I'm always obsessed with language and how, like, yeah, there's so many words in German that you can't translate at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like spießig. You know that word, spießig?
I don't know.
Spieße? It's like a word for, it's like a noun, but it's also can be an adjective. And
Say it in a sentence.
well, er ist ein Spießer. But Spießer means like, it's like this combination of like being closed-minded, being like very rigid, being
I don't know
having
anyone
a
like that.
certain style also of like furniture and clothing.
What is the
It's like-
clothing?
it's like, I guess it's just kind of like people who are like squares.
Mm-hmm. Leather jacket, green shirt,
Oh my God, I'm a Spießer. But it's like
animal print.
it's like a horrible, it's like Spießer. Oh
Okay.
God. It's like your whole apartment is IKEA. I don't know.
Oh.
Not even that, but it's weird. You can't translate it. And then you can say du bist spießig. You are spießig. So it doesn't mean you're a Spießer, but it means that you're
Acting like
you're
that.
acting spießig, like closed-minded, square, rigid, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So so it's a little better to be spießig than to be spießig.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
acting spießig.
Yeah. But it's a word you can't translate.
Mm.
Anyway, I just realized that this is our 50th episode.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
This is special.
I feel special.
This is a special motherfucking episode here in Miami Vice headquarters where we're recording. Don Johnson also started his podcast here. Bianca, where can people find you online?
Online. Oh my gosh. You can find me on my Instagram at Bianca Cristovao.
But you are constantly doing shows in LA and the rest
Constantly.
of the country.
Yes.
And you have a late night set out
I
that people can
do.
watch.
Yes. all
Where
of
can
that.
people watch that?
Well, on my Instagram or on YouTube.
Follow her on Instagram, slide into her DMs, and tell her how much you love science. I don't know. Ellis, thank you.
Thank you, Ellis.
Ellis. Very, very, very helpful to
Very
have
nice.
Ellis here. Thank you for being here, Bianca, for taking a chance on me, even though I'm not Brazilian. You did not walk out of the door when you found out, which I appreciate.
Well, sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need.
Oh, I love that. How do you say that in Czech?
Občas, my Czech is not. Ne vždycky dostaneš to, co chceš, ale občas dostaneš to, co potřebuješ.
And if you can repeat that back and send us a clip of you saying
You
it, we'll
can-
give you $2. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, give us a little liking. I can't speak English. Give us a little like, a review, 5 stars, a rating, whatever you want to do. It takes 2 seconds. Just do it. Thank you to Gio and Douchebag Steve. We will be back next week. But this week we're here with this episode, our 50th episode. Yay! We did it in LA. Goodbye.